Good afternoon. Welcome to Channel 8 Sports and East Brunswick High School football. Hi, I'm John Meggiolaro, being joined again this year by Jim Allinder and Phil Hill as we open the 1988 high school football season. And guys, the last time we were here was a cold December afternoon, and unfortunately we left here on a losing note, East Brunswick losing to Madison Central. And while it ended the 87 season, in effect, it was the beginning of the 88 season and where we're at today. Jimmy, let me start off with your thoughts on that Madison Central game and what it might have in terms of an impact this year.
Well, there's no doubt about it, John. There's a lot of anticipation. The waiting is over. It's been a long winter. Summer is come and gone. And I think everybody that's associated with East Brunswick football has that the Madison Central game in the back of their minds. Yet, Madison Central being on the schedule about 7 games down the road, they have to put it aside for now and concentrate on the beginning of the season, and East Brunswick's going to be opening up against Cherokee. Make no mistake about it, they cannot look ahead. Cherokee, with all due respect to Madison Central, as a matter of fact, with every other team on the East Brunswick schedule, I believe Cherokee could be the biggest test that East Brunswick may face through the season. They are that good. They have quality athletes, as does East Brunswick. So the way I'm sensing things right now is there's a lot of anticipation, yet there is I think people are starting to feel a little bit of pressure. I talked to Harry Morris, the offensive line coach, about an hour ago, and here we are just before the Cherokee game, and I said, Harry, is there pressure? And he said, yes, there is. And it's transcended all the way to the team, throughout the team, through the coaches, and as we approach the season, the opening game today, they're going to have to get that pressure out of the way and play the way they can, because we have here, I think, with all the greatness that East Brunswick has enjoyed throughout the years, we have perhaps the best team that has ever been put on the field.
Phil, you had a chance to watch East Brunswick during the preseason in scrimmages against Phillipsburg and Brick Township. Your assessment as to where this team is today?
Well, they're a team that has arrived. They, without a doubt, are one of the better teams in the state of New Jersey. They have the confidence that no matter what the score, in 2 scrimmages I saw they were behind both times, and they just knew they were going to come back, so they have that kind of quiet confidence. This can be an excellent team. I think the thing Marcus Borden has done, he has them focused. They realize that they can't look past Cherokee, and why should they? They've never beaten Cherokee. For all the talk in Central Jersey about how well East Brunswick came back last year, the fact of the matter is that Cherokee beat them, and that's what they talk about down at Cherokee. So they have no reason to look past Cherokee. But if you want to talk about the season itself, everything has to go through Madison Central. There's a bad joke going around last Thanksgiving that Bear fans wouldn't even eat turkey because they were afraid they might see a wishbone. So they have to prepare for Madison Central if they want to win the Red Division, if they want to win a state championship. They have to think about Madison Central. But Marcus Borden has them taking one game at a time, and I think today is going to be a real test for them.
Well, we've heard so much about Brian Forte, obviously, and the receivers, Trent, Giroux, and Potter. For me, I think the story really is going to be that offensive line. And I know, Jimmy, you and I were talking about that this morning. A little background on that line.
Well, that is the key. You have some new faces there mixed with some changes of personnel. And let me just quickly go over that offensive line. At center is going to be Dave Clark, 56. He is a familiar name. He's 6'3", 250, and probably the top center in Middlesex County. I don't think there's any problem with East Brunswick, and that's a sigh of relief for Brian Forte, because nothing more than having a nose guard going down your throat. Rosario Chetta and Mike Diello are going to be the guards, and Sean Smith, I believe, is going to be one tackle. Bob Simmerman is going to be playing, and Phil Miller, who is at 6'3", 275, is going to be at the other tackle. You're going to get some good blocking from your tight end, Dave Potter, and it's going to be the key to East Brunswick's success this year. I'll go down on record as stating that. Brian Forte, if he hits enough time, is going to produce points for you. He has already shown that. He is mobile, and he can improvise by getting out of the pocket if there's a rush. But I don't think East Brunswick nor Forte want to get into that type of situation. They need to, the offensive line has to provide adequate blocking, and if they do, then Brian Forte is going to put points on the board, because we've already discussed a tremendous offensive power.
Phil, one thing on defense for East Brunswick that we're going to see is Ramon Trent playing in the defensive secondary. And another thing is that Mark Harmon will not be on offense. He will be on defense, though.
I'll tell you, I got great respect for Marcus Borden for the way he's handled Mark Harmon. Mark Harmon is a young player chomping at the bit. He got hurt, as we all know, in the Madison Central game last year. Done a tremendous job in rehabilitating himself, but Marcus Borden is bringing him along slowly. I like the idea that he's strictly playing him on defense, and we'll see as the year goes on. If the leg holds up, perhaps he'll get some offensive play, but Marcus Borden is doing the right thing with him right now.
How about Trent being on defense?
Trent, speed is speed, and you got to utilize it wherever you have it. I would tell you, I was pleasantly surprised by how well Trent played defense. After all, this is the kid's only second year playing football altogether, and then his first year playing defense, and I watched him in the scrimmages, and he handled very well, not only covering but also hitting. And you can't teach hitting. That's something that you have to have, and he looks like he's going to do very well.
Well, Jimmy, you alluded to the fact that we're here today at J. Doyle Field, the start of the season, East Brunswick against Cherokee. What are the keys for East Brunswick in this game?
Well, we talked about the play of the offensive line. Okay, if Brian Forte gets enough protection, I think they're going to score. Another unknown has to be the defense. In the two previous games, Phil, we saw East Brunswick do what it had to do, but I'm not sure that Brick and Phillipsburg have the same type of offensive firepower that the Cherokee team has with their quarterback, Bob France, who is being highly touted also. He's going to be a prime prospect. Phil Robinson is the running back that we're going to see, who just literally tore up East Brunswick last year. France, by the way, just to get back to that, threw 14 touchdown passes last year, and he is a potent weapon. So that brings into line the secondary for East Brunswick, and we talked about Trent playing defense, Mark Harmon playing defense, Troy White, to name a few. And how will that secondary react to the offense, not only for just Cherokee, but all of this year? Let's take a look at the defensive line. Sean Smith again will be playing. We have a newcomer, 65, Tom Johankins, who is from Trenton, and like Ramon was last year, really doesn't have any experience playing, but he is oh so aggressive. We saw that in the brick scrimmage last week. The guy just wants to play all the time. I think, let's see, he's 6'4", 225 listed, and that's an honest 6'4", 225. Great speed. So he's going to be in there. You're going to be seeing, let's see, Constantino Duano, Matt Pazinko at the line, just to name a few linebackers. Mark Rulo, I believe, will not be playing today. He has a broken hand, and we'll have to see how that affects East Brunswick. The defensive line is going to have a nice rush, I believe, this year. They have some good horses, and you hear the noise down there. There's a lot of emotion in this game, too, by the way. A lot of emotion in this season. So that's the defense, from what I can see.
Okay. Phil, I know you had a chance to talk with Coach Horner from Cherokee. Anything different they're going to try to show us today?
Well, I asked him, I said, Coach, he said, was he going to harass Brian the way he did last year? And he says, well, we don't play one player. He says, we play an entire team. And I said, well, I got to believe, though, you had such great success last year that you might be doing the same thing. He says, well, we'll be putting some pressure on, but we'll be playing some other things as well. He feels really good about this team. He says this is the most disciplined team that he's had. He's had a lot of fun coaching this team. They're not as big as the previous teams that he's had, but they're real aggressive. So he expects them to do well. He sort of feels he's an underdog in this game and likes that being in that position. We talk about the kid France. I don't think you can talk about him enough. We saw him last year, and he was excellent. If someone was to tell us today that someone would start a day and his initials would BF, he would have thrown 14 touchdowns, and his record last year was 8-2. We would say Brian Forte, but Bob France also has those initials, so it could very well be him. Who knows?
Okay, both teams come in with 8-2 records from last year. Rather good records, particularly today in the high school competition where there is a lot of parity. I know it's good to be back with you guys again. I know we're as excited as the team. And so we'll be back with the start of the action in just a moment. Well, guys, we're just about ready to kick off the 1988 East Brunswick High School football season. And I, for one, think there's a lot of electricity in the air today.
Well, John, I'll tell you what, there is as much emotion from the crowd that I have ever seen from an East Brunswick crowd, and I have to think that it has a lot to do with the expectations of the team this year. There was actually loud cheering, and we have noted over the years that East Brunswick tends to be a rather sedate crowd. But perhaps that's not going to be the case this year. What do you think, Phil?
Well, I wasn't concentrating on the crowd. I was looking at the players, though, in the warm-ups, Jim, and they were as excitable as I've seen an East Brunswick team. So the juice is flowing. They've been waiting all year for this for the season to begin, and they look like they're ready. Let's hope so.
Okay, you see out in the center of the field the captains for East Brunswick. That's Mark Harmon, number 34, and Brian Forte, number 16, as they get ready for the toss of the coin.
And I'll tell you, a fine selection as captains. I mean, what players have done more really over the past few years to
each in their own way,
and
Phil.
each in their own way.
Yeah, tremendous leadership ability.
Leadership is what I'm talking about, Jimmy. Both are tremendous leaders.
Somewhat of an overcast day today. Temperatures probably in the mid-60s. Ideal weather for a football game.
There's a little bit of a threat for some shower activity, John, later in the afternoon. Hopefully they'll be able to get this game in without weather conditions playing a part.
Okay, Cherokee will receive. They'll be moving left to right. East Brunswick in the dark green jerseys will be kicking off to start this game.
Well, between you and me, guys, I think that's kind of nice that defense goes on the field first. I think we alluded to the pressure that the offense must be feeling because it is expected to produce. Hey, let's get the defense out there and stop them. Maybe that'll be the type of emotional edge that they need.
You might remember last year that's what happened, though. Cherokee got the ball first and scored first. So we'll see.
John, I'll try to pick up some of the players' numbers as we go along here, setting up the offensive line and backs and that sort of thing.
And we'll get our look at our first look at Dan Levine this year, who will kick off for the Bears. And during the preseason, we were quite impressed with Dan kicking the ball into the end zone on the majority of the kicks.
Which is not that common for high school football players. So I think that could be a strength for East Brunswick this year to have a kicker to replace Josh Miller, who used to do that regularly, to have that continuation of somebody who can put the ball in the end zone. And remember, in high school football, if the ball is kicked into the end zone, you do not have an option of running it out.
Good point, Jim. And we're just about ready to get this game underway and to start off this season.
Watch for number 26, Phil Robinson. He's a flyer for Cherokee.
And he's back deep to receive. And here we go. The 1988 season is underway. Fine kick by Levine into the end zone.
And Danny is all fired up. Just the type of kick. Boy, that almost went out of the end zone. There is a slight wind, but I'll take it back. The flag is still. The adrenaline must be flowing.
All right, the Bears will go on defense. The ball comes out to the Cherokee 20, 1st and 10. And Franz, as you know, is their quarterback, highly touted quarterback. And he can put the ball in the air quite easily.
Just to set you up on that line, Jenkins is 65, 63 is Mike Hack, and Sean Smith 75.
Franz, handoff to number 26.
Phil Robinson.
Oh, Robinson breaks it.
Phil Robinson.
No one's going to catch him. Goodbye, 80 yards. Cherokee on the board first. No flags are down.
I'll tell you.
Great blocking on the left side there.
It's almost deja vu. Looked like we've seen it before. The last game. Last year, the first game, Phil Robinson took off early in the game, and he's right back where he started from.
Can you believe this? Phil Robinson takes a handoff around the left side and breaks it 80 yards.
And now it remains for East Brunswick to hold its emotional poise.
He'll go for the extra point.
Everybody rather stunned here, John.
I know I am. In fact, I didn't have the right number on Robinson. I looked up, he was in the end zone. Extra point by Cherokee. And it's good, and they go out on top 7-0 to start this game. 13 seconds, that's all it took.
13 seconds.
13 seconds, my Lord.
Well, I tell you, we talked about it in the pregame that East Brunswick all during the preseason has shown a propensity to come back. 2 scrimmages I watched, the opposing teams scored first, and East Brunswick just kept their cool and got right back into the game, and there's no reason why they can't do it here.
Well, we're going to see as East Brunswick will now receive.
I didn't catch the number out there, but it was a fine block on the left side that sprung Robinson.
And he scored on the Jesse James gang, and this same Jesse James gang has a chance to get some revenge right here. They'll fake it, but you can look for the ball to end up in Trent's hand. If Trent should receive the ball, he's going to fake it and keep it. If he doesn't receive it, it'll probably be handed off to him.
All right, Trent's back deep along with Goldstein and Troy White. Brown will kick it off for the Chiefs. And we'll see what East Brunswick can do now. Good kick. This will be Goldstein at his 12-yard line. Fakes the reverse. Looking for some blocking. He's got a hole. Goldstein's got running room. He's up to midfield, just short of midfield, crossing at the 46-yard line. So East Brunswick starts off in fine field position.
And I tell you, got to like that. David Goldstein with a fine run back, the young man that's paid his dues on the JV team, played quite a bit of varsity last year, and now has a golden opportunity to show what he can do this year.
Well, if this is any indication as to how the game's going to go.
All right, East Brunswick 1st and 10. The ball spotted on their own 45. Forte sends Giroux wide right, Trent wide left. DeVito and Goldstein in the backfield. Forte will pass.
There's the rush.
He's being pressured. He'll flip it out to Goldstein. And a flag is down, and I think they're going to call interference.
They are. And in high school football, that is a 15-yard penalty.
That's a very close call. I tell you, if it would have happened on the Cherokee side, you might wonder when that flag was thrown.
All right.
No penalty. No penalty. Apparently the ball was tipped, so therefore
Okay, that's
penalties
important.
called off.
All right, so it'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Bears.
So right away, Cherokee with a blitz, which is probably a strategy they're going to use.
Potter now splits wide left. Drew out to the right, along with, I think it's Feldman. I can't see the number. Inside handoff to DeVito. And Joey fights his way for about 5 yards up near midfield. They bring up 3rd and let's say 5.
Good high step running by Joey DeVito for those 5 yards.
You're going to see a lot of that. Very important cog in that offensive lineup is going to be Joe DeVito getting those tough yards.
Greg Rulo now in the backfield, number 40. Trent to the left, Giroux to the right. Forte drops back, looks. Being pressured once again, has to roll to his left. Still looking, he's going to put it down and run with it.
Uh-oh, we got a flag. We got a flag.
Nice spin around move by Forte, knocked out of bounds, cross midfield. The flag is down though. And a little scuffle on the sidelines.
And it is best to get the players out. There's Sean Smith.
There's someone grabbing a face mask. You don't
Yeah.
like to see that.
All right, let's sort things out. We have a flag back on the 45. And that may be a clip.
All right, we'll try to straighten this all out for you. And we'll see if any penalties are thrown after that scuffle on the sideline. Apparently someone came in late on Forte, or so the East Brunswick players thought.
But there's no flag, John, on that. So I think the one to focus on is the one that was originally thrown.
See what the call is. The officials now discussing it. Forte rolling out, decided to run with it. Cross midfield.
Quite obviously, if this is a clip and it's against East Brunswick, Cherokee will take the penalty and nullify the first down that Forte would have picked up.
Did pick up the first down, you're right.
Phil, more defensive rushing on the part of Cherokee.
Well, as I was telling Horner, and he wasn't telling me at the beginning of the game, there's no reason why he shouldn't keep up the pressure on Brian Forte. They had such tremendous success last year, and you had to believe that they were going to throw everything but the kitchen sink at Brian, and they have put tremendous pressure on him.
Okay, the ball is marched back against East Brunswick. The ball will be at their own 29. I still have not seen a signal as to the penalty. Here we go. It was a clip against the Bears. Dead ball foul.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against Cherokee.
Oh, gosh.
So they mark off the first foul and then
so there was
proceed
a flag.
to mark off the second. So when everything is all said and done, the ball is up now to
unsportsmanlike on each team.
Right. You wonder why sometimes they keep moving the ball back and forth instead of just neutralizing.
All right, the ball is at the East Brunswick 29 finally. It's going to bring up a third down, though, for the Bears. Once again, this time it'll be third and a bundle.
Looks like be about 25 yards,
yeah.
John.
Forte drops back, has some time, looks across, looks for Giroux. Feldman. Feldman catches, will be knocked out of bounds way short of the first down at around the East Brunswick 37. And the Bears will be forced to punt.
I'll tell you, Ramon Trent was not in on that last series of plays, and you got to wonder why. And the defense is, well, the defense isn't out there yet, but you got to wonder whether Trent's okay.
Phil, I just think it's a matter that Brian did not have enough time to even get the ball to Trent. Both passing situations, he was forced out of the pocket.
Forte will drop back for the punt for East Brunswick. And he gets off an excellent kick.
Tremendous.
It's going to drive Reed back. Ball still bounding around at about the 2-yard line. He now picks it up. And he'll get up near the 10-yard line. Excellent kick by Brian Forte. Will put Cherokee deep in the hole.
Quite frankly, I think East Brunswick should have been down on that a lot quicker than it was.
Well, you was wondering, it looked like they did get down there a little slowly, but you got to give the Jesse James game credit because they did maintain their lanes. If not, that kid could have picked the ball up, hit on the outside, and been gone.
If you just joined us, I'm John Meggiolaro with Phil Hill and Jim Allinder. Cherokee opened the scoring with their running back Robinson going 80 yards, first play of the game. East Brunswick trailing 7-0. Cherokee has the ball on their own 8-yard line, 1st and 10. Franz fakes to Robinson. No, I'm sorry, Robinson keeps it. Picks up about 3. Good ball handling by France.
I'll tell you, France is one of the better quarterbacks in the state of New Jersey. He was superb last year, and you can expect super things from him this year.
Got to give him 4 on that, John.
Ball at about the Cherokee 13. 2nd down, 6 yards to go. Inside handoff to Reed, number 10. Crosses the 15-yard line. 3rd down.
It was Scott Brunette on the tackle. Crowd rather quiet.
3rd and 4 for the Chiefs. See if France puts it up in the air.
It's a big play.
That's Robinson.
Ooh.
He's going to be short of first down. Hit hard by Mark Harmon.
Mark Harmon. Well, there's that leadership ability coming out in a very crucial situation. East Brunswick needed to hold and stop the momentum of Cherokee.
Mark Harmon on a nice hit there, and Constantino Donna as well, also in on that play. Very aggressive.
All right, Brown will punt for Cherokee. Back deep is Troy White and Ramon Trent. Good snap. Brown gets off a short kick that'll go out of bounds. Nope, kicks back in. Trent will let it go. And East Brunswick will have good field position.
So right away you see Brian Forte's athletic ability displayed in the differential and the punts. What did he have, about 65 yards on that kick?
Easily.
Yeah. Cherokee could not do anything on this possession, and now East Brunswick has excellent field position inside the Cherokee territory.
Ball spotted at the Cherokee 46-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Bears. Drew out wide left, Trent to the right. Short drop by Forte to Giroux. Pass completed and will be spotted at the Cherokee 41-yard line.
Joe Giroux with the sure hands, probably as sure hand receiver as they have out there on the field. He did a little down and out there, but you can look for him to do a down, out, and up before the day's over.
2nd and about 5 for the Bears on the Cherokee 41. 7-0, Cherokee in the lead. 6:50 to go here in the first period. Handoff to Goldstein. Big hole. Goldstein's got some room up the middle.
Great cut.
Great running by Goldstein inside the 20-yard line. First down, East Brunswick.
And that's what happens when you depend on looking at the pass too much. There was a great hole there,
I'll
Phil.
tell you, good blocking up front. David Goldstein, and we talked about it before, a young man that has paid his dues, and I think he's going to have a good year.
Ball spotted at the Cherokee 17. 1st and 10, East Brunswick on the move, looking to tie this game up. Potter now wide left. Drew to the right. Forte looks, being pressured, and he's going to be taken down for a sack at the 25.
Well, I don't think you can blame the line on that one. It's very simply there was not a player, receiver open for East Brunswick.
You had 2 receivers in the same area, surprisingly, too. Both Giroux and Trent were in the same area. About time Forte was trying to get the pass off, and he just didn't have enough time.
Trent comes out, Feldman goes in. Goldstein, DeVito in the backfield now as Casanelli and Rulo come out. 2nd and 18 for the Bears. Ball now on the Cherokee 24. Double wide right. Forte goes up the middle. Pick up maybe 2.
Well, that is an audible, if you recall last year, that Brian Forte will exercise on his own.
And he already said that he plans to probably do a lot more this year, simply because he's a lot more comfortable this year.
Bring up 3rd down for the Bears. 3rd and about 13. Ball rests on the Cherokee 21. Trent and Drew to the right. Potter out to the left. Forte will roll right. Has some times looking for Trent. And Drew pulls it down at about the 1-yard line.
There's 2 receivers in the same area, but it paid off that time.
It's what I was talking about 2 plays ago, and they come right back, and they still have the 2 receivers in the same area. And as you pointed out, Jimmy, Joe Giroux cutting in front of Trent and a defender and making an excellent catch. They're very fortunate.
Got to mention it, guys. I think Phil Miller, 75, got away with a hold. I think he had somebody's jersey coming in on the right side there.
All right, the Bears on about the 1-foot line, having a chance to put in their first score of the season.
And you can look for Joe DeVito to buckle it over from here.
Greenberg wide left, Feldman wide right. Forte's going to look to put it in. Needs some help. And he's looking for Feldman. Good defensive play.
Excellent defensive play.
Ball incomplete to bring up second and goal.
I'll say it again, and you can look for Joe DeVito to take it in from here. Let's see.
We're shaking our heads up here, as all sideline quarterbacks do.
All right, Drew out to the left. Trent now to the right. Casanelli and DeVito in the backfield with Forte. Second and goal, the ball is on about the 1 foot line. Forte will keep it himself. And I think he fumbled, but someone fell on it for the touchdown. Yes.
Credit that touchdown to Clark.
Dave Clark picks up the fumble and the score for East Brunswick.
I guess we'll have to give Clark that touchdown.
We got to give Clark that. We're not talking about the Dave Clark 5, but the Dave Clark 6 right there. 6 points.
Boy.
Right. You like that?
Oh, boy.
Bill's in mid-season form.
Yep.
Dave Clark in the right place, the right time. You got to like it. The young man had to sit out most of last year, and here he's doing a super job.
All right.
Protection.
Levine on for the extra point to tie this game at 7. Fumbled by Troy White.
There's Potter.
He's looking for Potter. Bad pass. And a flag is thrown.
Interference.
We'll see who it's called on.
Boy, if that's the call, that is a major break for East Brunswick, because that means points. Big call right there. Means the Bears will get another opportunity to kick the point.
And we're waiting for the official call. Half the distance to the goal, pass interference against Cherokee. So you're right, Jim. Levine will get another shot at it. And the snap looked good. I think it was just a bobble by Troy White.
He must have took his eyes off it.
So the Bears will get another opportunity to tie this game up. Good snap. Kick is up. And we're tied at 7.
And we're going to have to watch. That could have a major impact on this game with the way the scoring could potentially be. That's a penalty that was directly related to a point.
Well, we go back to that drive there, and it all started from Brian Forte's punt, tremendous punt, who put Cherokee back in the hole, and
47 yards, Phil.
Ended up with good field position, and they just took it on in. It wasn't pretty, but they got it in.
Right. More importantly, wrested away some of that momentum that Cherokee had by scoring on that opening drive.
Well, it looks like both teams are starting to settle down a little bit after that 80-yard burst by Robinson. Good defense by the Bears to force Cherokee to punt. And I think the offense is starting to feel its feet under him.
Well, as I pointed out earlier, from the 2 previous scrimmages, they just seem to settle in and start pouring it on.
Well, we know a couple of things. The offense can move the ball against Cherokee, and hopefully they'll have other opportunities to do that this afternoon. Defense, though.
All right, Levine to kick it off. And another outstanding kick. Robinson is in the end zone. He can't run it out. So Cherokee will take over on their 20. And we'll see if France puts the ball up in the air.
You know, if we have time, an interesting little story about Dan Levine. Danny wasn't known for kicking balls out of the end zone, but the way he tells it, he went to a chiropractor in January. Some little manipulation went on, and he just said he set 15 extra yards on each kick. He says, I don't understand it, but that's what happened.
I wonder if he could help my golf game. All right, 1st and 10 for the Chiefs. France looking to put it up for the first time and does. Is it caught? Yes, it is. It's a reception. Number 81, that's Chris Winter.
Official standing right on top of the play, and the young man made a good catch.
Picks up 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. Ball at the East Brunswick 25. I'm sorry, Cherokee 25.
And France can throw the ball, as we've been told.
Robinson, the sole back with France. That's Reed in motion. France is going to put it up again, looking to the outside. He's got Reed. First down, Cherokee at the 32-yard line.
Dave Goldstein tried to make a stab at that ball.
I tell you, you got to you obviously see the good coaching in this Cherokee team. They're looking that ball in, both 2 terribly difficult catches, and they kept their eye on the ball and put their hands on it and made nice catches both times. First down.
3:30 to go here in the first period. We're tied at 7. East Brunswick and Cherokee opening games for both teams. I formation. This is Robinson off the left side.
That's that call that was a touchdown first time.
Robinson picks up 5.
Actually, Mark Harmon actually came up and made that tackle, and when your safety has to make tackles that early up, then you know there's a break down the line somewhere.
Well, so far it's the game we thought it would be. Back and forth. Again, I formation for Cherokee. Robinson again. He likes to go left. He's got the corner. He's got running room. Robinson first down as he crosses midfield. Into East Brunswick territory.
And I tell you, it's early in the season, but you can see the results of East Brunswick lost practically all their linebackers with the exception of DeVito. And another young man they expected to start, Mark Rulo, is out with an injury, and I think it's taken its toll right here.
Ball is spotted at the East Brunswick 47, first and 10 rather for the Chiefs. 2:25 to go, first period. Franz drops back. He's got someone downfield, wide open is Winter as Troy White falls.
He fell down.
And it's a score for Cherokee. No flags. Troy White slipped on the turf, and Winter was wide open.
I'll tell you, just a tremendous pass by France, though, right on the line.
That was excellent throw. And he had time to throw it, too.
France to Winter for the score.
So that's a 47-yard completion for a touchdown.
And I tell you, we shouldn't be so surprised. France threw for over 2,000 yards last year and 14 touchdowns. So, as I said, he can put it up.
Rick Brown on to kick the extra point as Cherokee has regained the lead. And they're on top 14-7 with 2:18 to go here in the first period.
Well, Phil, I still reserve judgment on the defense.
Well, we, again, Jimmy, looking at the scrimmages they had, they won every scrimmage they had, but they gave up points in all those scrimmages. And I think it may be a matter until about mid-season when the defense really gels that they're going to have to outscore everybody.
Exactly.
And they have the ability to do that.
And again, we can point to the fact that Troy White did slip on that play, and it just so happens that the pass was heading in that direction.
Well, Troy was out there man for man. He slipped. He had no help in the secondary. And that's part of the game.
Right. And Bob France, being the talented quarterback that he is, made an excellent pass.
All right, Brown will kick it off. Trent, White, and Goldstein back deep. High kick. This will be Goldstein again. And
Somebody
he lets
better
it drop. And Goldstein falls on top of it. That should be a flag.
It is. There's other flags. First one is certainly for the late hit. Now there was a late flag, and I'm wondering if that's an unsportsmanlike conduct.
Well, but it's just the television foul, because what happens is youngsters see the pros when the ball's like that going down. In high school, when you're down, you're down. You can't get back up, so the play has to stop. But they're conditioned by television. That's my belief.
All right, first down for the Bears. It's a personal foul, spearing, and it brings the ball to the East Brunswick 35, where it'll be first and 10. They have 2:16 to go here in the first period, and they trail 14-7. Trent and Giroux wide left now. This is DeVito. And DeVito struggled close, pick up about 4 yards.
Made a nice inside cut. Didn't see any daylight to the outside, Phil, but had the presence of mind to make the adjustment and got some extra yards out of it.
And Joey DeVito has the ability to do just that.
I think Joe DeVito is going to be more important to this offense than maybe we thought earlier.
Well, I think the running game itself is going to be a lot more important to the offense than
I
thought.
agree, Phil.
We've been talking a lot about the passing game, but you do need that running game.
Let's call it 2nd and 5 for the Bears on their own 38-yard line. Feldman and Giroux wide left. Potter split out to the right. Forte drops, looks, throws it out to Giroux, who's got it, and it'll be taken out of bounds at about the 47-yard line. And it is a first down for East Brunswick.
I'll tell you, fine throw by Brian Forte. He was being pressured, going back at the time, almost off the back foot, and just flicks his wrist and got the ball out there to Joe Giroux.
And I believe that East Brunswick would be pleased to take that type of pass if Cherokee wants to give it to him all this afternoon.
Well, they haven't gone for the bomb yet. They've been throwing rather short, but I think it might be time for him to see Mr. Trent fly. Let's see.
Speaking of Mr. Trent, he's split wide right. Look like they have double coverage on him. Giroux to the left. Fake to Goldstein.
Nice block.
Forte rolling right. Plants. Looks over the middle for Potter. The ball's up in the air, tipped and dropped. A near interception for Cherokee.
I'll tell you, close.
It was close. Cherokee tried to help the official make the call.
I tell you, Ramon Trent did a beautiful down, out, and up, and if Brian just had a split second more, Trent was wide open. Nice pattern. He's really developed nicely. He ran a beautiful pattern.
Right, and I thought Forte did a very nice job rolling out.
All right, 2nd and 10 for the Bears. They come out in I formation. 2 receivers split to the right. Goldstein trying to get outside, crosses midfield.
There's a flag down.
No, I think he spotted the ball, Jim.
Now it's a flag.
Is it? Maybe a late hit.
That's in the middle of the field, John, so.
Or a hold, we'll see.
And the way Red Lozowitz is marking it, it is a long one. Probably a holding penalty.
I'm afraid that's not Red Lozowitz, though.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
It is holding against East Brunswick, however.
Red Lozowitz is sitting in the stands right down here below us, so unless he has a double, that's not him.
All right, the penalty will move the ball back to the East Brunswick 38. And we'll call it 2nd and 20. Trent to the right. Feldman to the left. DeVito inside, nice hole.
Oh. Well, that time, Joey made an inside cut, and if he had looked to the outside, he had a blocker there. Probably could have got a lot more yards.
Nevertheless, a nice run by Joe DeVito.
Sure.
Joey will bring the ball just a yard shy of midfield. Be at the East Brunswick 49, where it'll be 3rd down. And let's call it about 7.
Okay, now we're ready for a Trent pass.
Trent and Giroux to the right. Potter now split to the left. Split back formation. Brian will roll to his right. Looks over the middle, and he's got Giroux. First down, East Brunswick.
I'll tell you, Giroux has those soft hands. Reminds us of another young fellow who happens to be playing today. Jimmy, can you tell? Another East Brunswick fine receiver?
That's playing today?
That's playing today.
This
is a
Very
trick
good,
question.
John.
Okay,
Ken
here we
Pruss
go.
playing for Vanderbilt against Rutgers today at the Meadowlands. We wish him well.
All right,
Yes.
the Bears move into Cherokee territory. 1st and 10. The ball at the Cherokee 42-yard line. And that should be it for the first quarter. Well, they'll get it off. Forte being pressured. Still
Holy
on his feet.
smoke.
And he'll pick up 3 yards.
That should have been a loss, and Brian's spun around twice avoiding a tackle.
And that'll be it for the first period. And so at the end of 1 here at J. Doyle Field, it's Cherokee 14, East Brunswick 7.
Well, just on an unofficial basis, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Forte is 5 for 8. 4 of those passes have gone to Joe Giroux. Feldman having the other reception. So East Brunswick primarily has a passing game, but Joe DeVito has had a couple of important runs.
As has Dave Goldstein.
And I'm sorry, I keep alluding to it, but this crowd is really silent.
It's a large crowd, the largest that I can remember in some time.
Makes one sort of wonder what it takes to get a crowd excited for a football game.
Well, we allude to it a lot. Sometimes crowds excite teams, and then other times teams excite crowds, and I think it's more of the crowd waiting for the team to do something to excite them.
Very good observation, Phil.
All right, we'll start the second period with East Brunswick in Cherokee territory. The ball at the Cherokee 39, 2nd and 8. Again, 2 receivers to the left for East Brunswick. I formation. Inside handoff to the I-back, which is Goldstein. Goldstein maybe picks up a yard. Third and 8 now for the Bears.
I'll tell you, Jim Horner has opted to double up on those outside receivers and not put as much pressure as one might think on Forte, and just play drop back defense. And thus far, he hasn't done badly.
Just daring him to throw it.
Split backfield. Forte drops straight back. Looking, being pressured, and he's going to be sacked at midfield.
Jeff Dieter, 5'11", 170-pound defensive back, laying on the tackle there.
Just blew by Joe DeVito on that one.
4th down. And I would suspect they'll punt, and Brian drops back. Reed will go back deep for Cherokee.
Looks like they're coming.
Good snap. Nice high kick. Reed will field it at about his 8-yard line.
Ooh,
runs into his own player and is dropped at about the 21-yard line. And that's where Cherokee will start off this second period.
Another fine kick by Brian.
14-7. We've just started action in the second period here at J. Doyle Field. East Brunswick and Cherokee. Opening game for both teams.
Yeah, Forte's walking off the field rather slowly. I'm wondering if it's whether he's still smarting from that hit or whether he's just a little frustrated at what's transpired.
All right, France brings him out. I formation. Reed and Robinson in the backfield. This is Robinson. Round the right corner.
He has room.
And he's out of bounds across the 30-yard line. And East Brunswick hasn't stopped that yet, Phil.
No, they got to be able to seal off them corners. If not, this kid, Phil Robinson, is going to have a field day. He's going to run all day on him.
Apparently, the end is getting trapped inside, and Robinson's having a lot of daylight there.
Well, what I saw was DeVito come in and get nailed.
He got caught in right.
Robinson picks up 9. Let's call it 2nd and 1. The ball at the Cherokee 32. Again, using that I formation. Fake to Robinson. France has it. He's putting it up. He's got a man open and just overthrows number 46. That's Pete Lita.
An excellent pressure by Joe DeVito and Mike Hack.
Good pressure that time. But, you know, I thought even with Bob France backpedaling, he still got off an excellent pass.
He still got it off nicely.
3rd and about 1. Look for Robinson on this play.
We haven't seen much of Mike Riley, who is the fullback, 200-pounder.
Supposed to be a good one, too.
They're going with Reed as the up front man in that I formation. And here's Robinson. He's got the first down and more. Brings it up and across the 35 to about the 38. First down, Cherokee.
That was a huge chunk of yards there, too.
Well, East Brunswick seems to be gambling a little bit defensively and being caught either in or out, and they're paying for it.
I see Clark has been inserted on the left side defensively for East Brunswick.
Cherokee in an I formation again. That's Reed. Reed hits a pile of Bears and is dropped right at the line of scrimmage. I think that's where they'll mark his forward progress.
Right. Dave Clark, the starting center, who wasn't supposed to play defensively for East Brunswick, he was inserted and probably had as much to do with stopping that run than anybody else. There was a huge bunch of tacklers for East Brunswick.
Scott Brunot and a number of other players. They need something. They need a turnover. They need something to get this crowd excited and get themselves excited and stop Cherokee from dictating the game.
2nd and 10 for Cherokee. Ball on their own 38. Second period action. A little counter move to Robinson, and Robinson picks up a yard, and that's it.
Okay.
Sean Smith on the tackle, number 75.
And Duano also, 35, was able to fend off that block and at least slow down Robinson.
And Mark Harmon coming in and getting a piece also. So when you see a lot of players around the ball like that, you like to see that defense look like they're coming alive.
3rd and 10 for the Chiefs.
East Brunswick definitely playing for the pass here.
2 men wide right for Cherokee. France will roll to his right. Looking, being pressured by DeVito and taken down. And a flag is thrown. There may be a hold against Cherokee. Let's see.
And East Brunswick probably would refuse it.
Fine play by Joe DeVito.
It certainly was. Joey DeVito played off a block and made a fine tackle.
And that's the call over there. Either a clip or a hold, but in either case, East Brunswick's going to refuse.
Clipping declined by the Bears, and so they'll get the ball. With 8:24 to go here in the second period, they trail 14-7.
Phil, you're right. Ramon Trent hasn't gotten his hands on the ball.
Not much. They've double-teamed him when he's spread out wide, and here's an opportunity here. The punt team scored 3 times last year.
Trent. Go ahead, Phil.
So let's see.
Trent and White are back. Brown, better punt this time. It's going to drive White back. Feels it at about his own 22. It's a reverse to Trent. Is the wall set up? Not this time. And Trent will be taken out of bounds at about the 27.
Nice coverage by Cherokee on that. They are well schooled, and we're expecting the crossover.
Well, they were scouting here last week, and all they had to do is watch the films to see what East Brunswick normally does in a punting situation, the fake reverse or reverse, so they were well prepared.
All right, East Brunswick has it 1st and 10. Ball on their own 28. They trail 14-7. Trent now will be to the short side. Drew wide left. Pitch to Goldstein. Goldstein breaks through, and a nice run to pick up close to 5 yards. A flag is thrown, though.
A lot of flags. A lot of flags.
Well, it is the first game for both teams, and does seem to be an inordinate amount of flags, however.
Looks to be a holding.
And this will move the Bears back.
It's the 3rd major foul for East Brunswick, and we still have a lot of time left to go in this second quarter.
Hold against the Bears. Be 1st down once again. However, the ball is now spotted at their own 18-yard line. I formation. Forte, a little delay to Goldstein. Nice move by Goldstein. He's got some running room. Crosses the 40 for a 1st down, East Brunswick.
What do you think about that, Phil?
Just a fantastic move by David Goldstein. I liked him last year, and I like him even more this year. He's matured a lot, but he's always been shifty, and that's as good of a fake as we've seen.
And that was all Goldstein on that play.
John, importantly, East Brunswick gets out of a hole and has a 1st down.
Ball spotted at the East Brunswick 43. 1st and 10, 7:10 to go here before halftime. 2 receivers out to the left for the Bears. Forte drops, looks, pumps, rolls to his left, being pressured again. A little screen set up here to Goldstein.
Great tackle.
Picks up maybe 2.
Great tackle.
Phil, it looked like Goldstein outran his blockers.
Well, his blockers, I think, sort of left Goldstein. There was no wall there. But Bob DeVincentis, 5'10", 175-pound outside linebacker, did a textbook tackle for an open field tackle there.
Goldstein picks up 2, 2nd and 8. The ball just shy of the East Brunswick 45. Forte again drops straight back. Being pressured, dumps it off to Rulo.
That was a heck of a pass.
Rulo crosses midfield and fights his way down to the Cherokee 45.
What an excellent play.
First down, East Brunswick.
Talk about having the presence of mind to recognize all your receivers. That was, at most, Phil, a 3-yard pass.
But it had nothing to do with recognizing your receivers. That was a set play there. Rulo played it perfectly, did a token block there and just peeled off, and it was dumped to him, and he picked up good yardage.
Another first down for the Bears. Ball on the Cherokee 45. Goldstein and DeVito behind Forte. That's Goldstein trying to slant off tackle, and he fights his way for 2 yards. Phil, I think the thing about Goldstein is he's always moving forward and leaning forward.
That's true. Matter of fact, he was so kicked there, you had Mike Diallo, a pulling guard there, ended up behind Goldstein instead of in front of him. So he got a little there a lot quicker than his blocking did.
Call it 2nd and about 8. Ball on the Cherokee 43. Down to 5:20 before halftime. East Brunswick looking to tie this game up at 14. And a flag, I don't know if it's a delay of game. As it's starting to drizzle here at East Brunswick. Offsides, East Brunswick. Someone must have came out and lined up offside.
Right.
Very unnecessary penalty.
Thus far, East Brunswick 4 penalties, 50 yards.
Ball now back to the East Brunswick 47, 2nd and 14. Goldstein once again, he'll get up to the 45 and back to the original line of scrimmage. But it'll bring up 3rd and 10.
I'll tell you, we might as well be at the opera today. I mean,
It is quiet,
and
isn't
you
it?
have to pardon me. I'm just used to people yelling and screaming and defense and offense and calling for your boy.
3rd and 10 for the Bears. Let's see if they put it in the air. Forte quickly drops back, being pressured, has to scramble, looking to throw it. He's got Trent. Trent makes a fine catch down to the 10-yard line.
Boy, did he leap up in the air and grab that one, huh? Of course, Brian laid it in very, very nicely. Forte eluding 2 would-be tacklers, getting out to the outside.
Well, you saw everything that Brian Forte is about, eluding the tacklers, keeping control of himself, throwing a nice, soft, controlled pass to Trent, and Trent making an excellent catch.
Ball at the Cherokee 10. And the series between these two teams is really one of big plays.
That's right.
Here's DeVito. No help at the line. Joey will pick up maybe 3.
A good 3 yards there.
Sure was. That was earned on his own.
2nd and 7, and an important thing to keep in mind here, East Brunswick can pick up a first down without scoring. Ball spotted at the Cherokee 7.
I'd watch my tight end slanting in here.
Drew out wide left, Trent to the right. Forte keeps it, rolls to his right. Looking, still looking. He's going to run it, he's got some room. Did he cross the end line? Touchdown, Brian Forte. Forte hurdles a defender for the score.
I thought they were going to call him out of bounds on about the half-foot marker, but apparently the referee looked at where Brian stepped out and then made his decision. Either case, it would have been a first down. But East Brunswick will take the 6 points.
All right, Levine on to try to tie it up at 14 with 3:05 to go, second period. Good snap. And we have a tie ball game.
Very, very nice drive for East Brunswick.
I'll tell you, an excellent drive. You had some valuable contributions by Dave Goldstein there. Vintage Brian Forte in passing, and as you saw on the last play there, took it in himself. Dave Potter, however, was open, waving his arms in the middle of the field. Brian didn't pick him up and just used his great athletic ability.
Big play there, being that 32-yard pass reception from Brian Forte to Ramon Trent, putting East Brunswick in the position to score. Forte 8 for 11.
All right, Robinson moves back deep for the Chiefs, along with Reed and Winter. Levine to kick it off.
Phil, you think we've seen the end of the scoring?
They should call this the Pepto Bowl.
Don't see this as a defensive struggle today.
Levine, another excellent kick. Robinson is in that end zone. He can't run it out once again. So no return yardage for Cherokee on kickoffs.
And I tell you, we've gotten used to the last few years of seeing that ball go in the end zone because the super Josh Miller, who's now at Scottsdale Junior College and happens to be the punter and kickoff there, but Dave Levine has stepped in nicely.
Right now is the time for the defense to really get up and see if they can salvage this 3 minutes and 5 seconds, John. Get in another score.
All right, France brings out the Chiefs. I formation, Reed and Robinson in the backfield. That's Robinson on the toss. Cuts up field and picks up 5 yards, maybe 6.
It's a good bit of running there.
Nice running, but when you see a run like that, the first thing that comes to your mind, where are your linebackers?
Second down for Cherokee. Let's call it second and about 4.
John, don't think France doesn't have long pass on his mind.
Ball on the Cherokee 28. Fake to Robinson. You called it, Jim. Here he's got Winter open with Trent.
Ooh.
And just off the fingertips of Winter. Good coverage, though.
Good coverage by Ramon.
Good coverage, good try for the receiver, and a nice pass by France.
You know, you play this team enough, you sort of almost expect what they're going to do. We're starting to become familiar with Cherokee. They sincerely believe that they can score points on this East Brunswick defense. Very confident.
Let me say, too, that France just flicked his wrist and threw that ball 45 yards in the air.
Excellent pass.
I'm very impressed by Bob France.
Third and about 4 for the Chiefs. Full house backfield. That's Robinson. He's got the first down. 2:15 to go. And timeouts now will start to come into play.
That was straight ahead running.
Straight ahead. Matt Pazinko in on the tackle there. Matt Pazinko is a sophomore linebacker. And you usually don't see that too often, but he's a good, tough ball player.
Ball spotted at the 37. First and 10 for Cherokee. Pitch left, Robinson. Flag thrown.
Right, I caught a clip there. I think Dave Goldstein was coming in for the tackle and was clipped by number 10 for Cherokee, that being Matt Reed. That stops the clock, too.
And they'll move him back, obviously. 1:55 to go in the second period. I would think East Brunswick will want to use a timeout after this next play. So penalties have marred this first half, and I've heard both teams, quite honestly.
Clock starts.
All right, the ball will be on Cherokee 24. They'll have it now 1st and 25.
Phil, good situation for a screen.
Let's see.
France calling signals. Drops back, looks over the middle,
Ooh.
and over the head of Winter, and a
Oh,
flag is
come
thrown on Troy White.
All right.
He's going to pull that flag back. He has to. He's going to pull it back.
They're going to call a personal foul.
Sorry, Phil, he's not.
He's got to pull that back.
The ball was not catchable.
Well, he might be calling a late hit here. Let's see. And that he is. Unnecessary roughness.
More importantly, it's a penalty that hurts East Brunswick.
Oh, immeasurably. I think East Brunswick had Cherokee back in a deep situation. Still enough time for them to get the ball and score, but now
This team has done a pretty good job up to now, but that's just a bad call in my opinion.
Personal foul against East Brunswick. It'll be 1st and 10. The ball at the Cherokee 39. 1:30 to go.
and watch for the aerials again.
More importantly, though, Cherokee gets to keep the ball. Robinson on that little counter,
Ooh.
and he's hit hard.
Dave Clark.
Mr. Clark greeted Mr. Robinson.
Just a tremendous hit.
Well, I'll tell you, besides Trent and Forte, if you're going to look at another possible Division I player, I think you have to look at Dave Clark. He does have the size, he does have the speed, and so far he's showing a good ability to play defensively.
3rd and 7. France drops back, rolls to his right, being pressured by Smith. Gets the ball off to Lieta.
And I don't think he got a first down there, did he?
No, he's short of the first down, but he stops the clock.
It's a 4th down now. What do you do?
4th and about 2 with 49 seconds to go. And the ball is on the Cherokee 46-yard line.
What do you do?
It appears Horner's going to go for it.
Well, I don't see any reason why not. East Brunswick hasn't shown an ability to stop Cherokee. Robinson in particular.
All right, here we go. 49 seconds. That full house backfield, and it's Robinson, and he's got the first down.
And more.
As he crosses midfield.
I'll tell you, that's real confidence when you're on your own side of the 50-yard line, and
I think we got a timeout.
you go for it like that and pick it up.
Timeout Cherokee.
All right, Phil, 44 seconds. Cherokee can stop the clock again. However, there's not a lot of time, and you have a lot of real estate to pick up. What do you do now?
Well, you just use the clock. That's what you do. You have certain options with a quarterback like France. You can put it up and go for the bomb, or you can hit the sideline patterns and stop the clock as you move on down the field.
And France has shown the ability to do just that.
Nick Spadafino, the defensive coach and defensive coordinator, out there with the East Brunswick team.
Right, from the defensive side, I think East Brunswick likely is going to try to intensify the rush as much as possible, force France to get it off a little quicker than usual, and the secondary has to play its game, not allow the receiver to get behind them.
And you're right. Spadafino's telling them, listen, we want some pressure on, but we also want you to stay in your areas as well. Nick has been there for 19 years at East Brunswick.
44 seconds, 1st and 10 for the Chiefs of Cherokee. We're tied at 14. France on a little counter delay, draw if you will, to Robinson, and Robinson picks up about 6 yards.
That could have gone further if it wasn't for Harmon's tackle.
Correct.
And they go into the hurry-up offense. France, he's got some time, looks for Winter, overthrown. That'll stop the clock with 24 seconds. And it'll bring up 3rd and 4. Do you put the ball up, or do you run it and force East Brunswick to take a timeout?
Well, they're going to put it up, John. You got the East Brunswick defensive backs, and if you notice, you got Brian Forte back there defensively.
Just
And
noticed that.
Marcus is pulling out all the stops. He's putting his best athletes out there in this type of situation. He does not want them to score.
All right, Forte and Trent back deep for the Bears.
It's a true prevent defense.
Franz being pressured by DeVito. Gets away, but he's down. Or are they going to call him down?
Whistle now. So apparently he wasn't, John. And that ought to do it there.
East Brunswick should call timeout. They're letting the clock run down to 6 seconds, and now they finally take a timeout.
So at least they'll get a run back here. Let Ramon Trent get his hands on the ball.
And great pressure by DeVito and Sean Smith on that last play, a very crucial play.
Phil, on the punt returns, have you noticed that Cherokee is trying to purposely kick the ball away from Ramon Trent? Or is it?
I don't know if they have that ability to do that, but he hasn't, with the exception of one time, got his hands on the ball.
On the reverse.
And it's a smart thing to do. You don't want Trent to get his hands on it. We saw a few scrimmages ago just how he can fly. He can do the same things that Mark Harmon has done over the years.
Or what Phil Robinson is doing today. That he has that type of explosive ability.
Exactly.
All right, Franz was dropped for a 5-yard loss. It'll be 4th down. Cherokee has the ball on their own 47. 6 seconds left before halftime, and we're tied at 14.
And Cherokee is going to go for it. And that's the thought that was in my mind. With just six seconds left on the clock, John, what the heck?
Yeah, don't put the ball in Trent's hands, and obviously that's a thought of theirs.
Franz
straight back.
He'll wing it.
He's looking down long. Oh, geez. Trent tipped the ball and almost into the hands of Winter.
And Marcus Borden, when he looks at the films, is going to have Ramon Trent at his side.
Just to slap it
That's
down.
not how you do it.
That'll end the first half here at J. Doyle Field. The Bears and the Chiefs tied at 14. Gentlemen, your thoughts quickly.
Well, I'll just quickly say that this is the game that we thought we'd see. A lot of explosive activity on both sides of the ball. Bob Franz showing me a heck of a lot of ability to throw that ball. East Brunswick, of course, we all knew that Brian Forte could do very, very well in any situation. And unofficially, I have him for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for 11 for a heck of a lot of yards. And I don't know. It's open season for the second half.
Phil?
Well, it's right. The second half's the new game. East Brunswick has shown in the past that they seem to get stronger in the second half, particularly the fourth quarter, and you just have to feel like they're sitting pretty right now.
All right, we'll be back with the second half action in just a moment, but we ask that you stay tuned and watch the East Brunswick High School Band. Well, you can see the teams back on the field prior to the start of the second half. And Jim, what do the stats look like?
Well, I guess you can give the statistical edge to East Brunswick if you erase that 80-yard run, but you can't. Therefore, Cherokee has a rushing advantage of 136 yards. East Brunswick gained 86, probably surprising yards. We didn't expect that. Passing yardage we did because East Brunswick had 95, and Brian Forte was officially 8 for 12. Let's see. Nice statistic on the punting. Forte had 2 punts for an average of 50.5 yards. Revealing statistic, East Brunswick penalized 70 yards, Cherokee 60 yards, and referees apparently are really trying to keep the emotion of this game down. In the rushing department specifically for East Brunswick, Dave Goldstein, 5 carries for 53 yards. He's tops. DeVito had 25 hard-earned yards. And let's see, in the passing department, we mentioned Joe Giroux had 4 receptions for 41 yards, all of them coming in the first quarter. The long gainer, however, was the 35-yarder to Trent, which set up the second touchdown. So those are probably the most significant statistics at this point, John.
Okay, and Phil, your coach of East Brunswick, do you make any adjustments?
Well, I don't know exactly what type of adjustments you can make. I think it has to do with personnel. You have several young linebackers. You have another defensive player transfer that's just sort of learning to play the game, and I think you're just hoping that Joe Hinkins, they're going to come around the second half. That's all. Okay,
and one thing that I think we need to talk about a little bit, and I'm sure some people aren't going to appreciate hearing, and that is crowd participation. It's almost nil, and if you want to excite things and get things moving for the team, I think one way to do it is to yell and scream in the stands.
Well, John, normally I would say, it's time for us to get off the bandwagon about it, but it's so very crystal clear here. I mean, football is a game of emotion, and it's up to the crowd to get the team into the game, not vice versa.
All right, we're about ready to start the second half. We're tied at 14, East Brunswick and Cherokee. Brown will kick it off. Trent, White, and Goldstein back deep for the Bears. Nice kick. This will be White at about the 3-yard line. He's got a wall if he can pick up some blocks. And he's taken out just short of the 20, and a flag is thrown.
Well, I'm wondering what that call is.
That's face mask, Jimmy.
Okay, but still in all, Cherokee did a fine job of playing the lanes, and that is textbook how to play a kickoff return. The penalty notwithstanding.
So we pick up where we left off in terms of penalties, and East Brunswick will get it in much better field position. Ball spotted at the East Brunswick 33-yard line. That's where they'll take over this second half, rather.
John, if I can interject real quickly, in soccer action this morning, East Brunswick played the Edison counterparts in boys and girls soccer, and I'll give you those scores in a second.
All right, East Brunswick comes out. Forte at quarterback, DeVito and Goldstein in the backfield. Potter and Drew wide left, Trent wide right. And this is Goldstein. Gets around the corner. Fumbles the ball, and it's picked up by Cherokee.
First turnover.
This was almost like the start of the game.
It really was. Let me give you the soccer score as the boys team won 6-0 over Edison this morning, and the girls won by a 12-0 score. I understand there were no shots on goal by the Edison team. 3 more goals by Amy Meckelberg and Leanne Swartz, and each of those two have 4 goals apiece in 2 games. The Lady Bears out to a 2-0 record, and the boys with 2-0 record.
We have an injured Cherokee player down on the field.
And I tell you, Coach Horner is bending over this player right there, and they're going to take care of that player, but it's up to East Brunswick to also take care of Dave Goldstein. The young man put his head down. He took a good shot and ended up fumbling the ball. It's part of the game. He's got to lift his head back up and get back into the game.
Correct, Phil. Dave Goldstein has made too valuable of a contribution in the first half to let this turnover bother him.
And as they attend to the injured Cherokee player, and he's sitting up, so that's a good sign.
Have we identified him, John?
No, I can't pick up a number yet,
right.
Jim.
Well, he has a number 2, so he's 20-something. 21.
And he's up. That's something we'd like to see.
That's Jeff Dieter.
Okay. His name was called already, Phil.
Right.
Well, East Brunswick goes on defense now, and Cherokee in excellent field position at the East Brunswick 36. 1st and 10. Franz brings them out in that I formation that they like to run from. And Robinson's the big back for him. Number 26, inside handoff to Reed. And Reed will pick up 4 yards.
I wonder if something is wrong with Riley.
Because they haven't used him much. Greg
Yeah.
Rulo on a good tackle there.
Second and 6. Ball on East Brunswick 34. That's Robinson. Has a nice hole.
He runs nice.
Short of the first down.
Good blocking on the left side here from Cherokee. But Robinson just sort of glides with the ball.
He's a nice runner. Mike Hack coming up making a good tackle, however.
Start of the 3rd period. East Brunswick gave up the ball on their first possession. Cherokee now trying to make something happen. 3rd and about 2. A little reverse. That's Reed. And Trent drags him out of bounds, but not before he picks up the first down.
Yeah, Goldstein got caught inside on that one. Went for the bite.
I tell you, deft ball handling by France there. Just beautiful ball handling.
Gives the Chiefs a 1st and 10, the ball at the East Brunswick 20. This game started off with a bang as Robinson from Cherokee went 80 yards on the first play. And it's been back and forth ever since. Franz checking signals. Drops back, flicks the wrist in the corner, looking for Leada, and overthrown.
And that time, Troy White was with the receiver all the way.
That'll bring up a 2nd and 10. Ball on the East Brunswick 20.
Phil, at times, East Brunswick has been able to put pressure on Bob France. Granted, that was a quick pass.
Right.
But I just feel that the defense needs to penetrate a little more.
Well, I'm just surprised. Well, we'll talk about it.
Draw to Robinson. Robinson will pick up 2.
And East Brunswick was half expecting some sort of play with Robinson on the ball.
And Constantino Dono on the tackle. I'm just surprised they're not, you know, I'm surprised that that play before last was a pass that they're not running it because they seem to be picking up sufficient yardage.
3rd and a long 7 for Cherokee on the East Brunswick 18. Reed goes in motion. Looks like East Brunswick jumped, and they did.
And that's 5 free yards.
As it begins to drizzle here at J. Doyle Field. So with the penalty, it moves the ball to the East Brunswick 13-yard line.
Phil, did Horner tell you anything about the Cherokee kicking game?
We're supposed to have a pretty good kicker in this kid, Rick Brown.
3rd and 3. Cherokee looking to keep this drive alive. It's Robinson trying to get to the outside. He turns the corner. And I think he's short of the first down.
It's close.
No, he's got it.
He's got it.
He's got it.
Speed was what enabled Robinson to get to the outside. And I think East Brunswick was well prepared to stop that, but Phil Robinson just made the adjustment and sprung the whole side of the field.
Well, they've yet to stop Robinson around the corner. 1st and goal inside the 10-yard line now. Cherokee looking to go ahead once again. Pitch to Robinson, right side. Following his blockers well, and he's close to the goal line. He drops the ball.
Nope. Ball was down.
They're going to call him dead at about the 1-foot line.
I'll tell you, Robinson cut up nicely. He had about 3 East Brunswick defenders on the outside ready to close in on him, and he just turned it up very nicely.
So Cherokee knocking once again on the East Brunswick door. We're tied at 14, 8:10 to go here in the third period. Full house backfield. Robinson tries to dive and is hit right at the line. They're calling it a touchdown.
I guess they're saying he broke the plane, John, but he looked like he was stopped before he got there. But nevertheless, it's a touchdown. Ruled a touchdown.
So they give Cherokee the score. It puts them on top, 20-14.
Right. That turnover proving to be fatal for East Brunswick. 35-yard drive.
And that's Robinson's second touchdown of the day. Brown on for the extra point. High snap, ball is down though. And a good foot by Robinson. And that'll be the 21st point.
And Ricky Brown, who just kicked that, Jimmy, you might remember his brother a few years back at Cherokee, Randy Brown, now at Catawba College, and he led the nation in NAIA ball last year. So
where did you come up with that?
From the coach, from Coach Horner himself. He's proud of it. He says,
and rightly so.
He says Randy Robinson probably will be his first professional ball player.
So Cherokee capitalizes on the fumble by East Brunswick to go up on top, 21-14.
And East Brunswick has been playing catch-up all day.
Very lethargic.
Well,
point in the game.
I'll tell you, you almost want to hear a "Let's go" somebody right now. You know, I won't mention the name, but that I'm used to hearing. But fans should be up saying, "Let's go Bears! Let's get them." You know,
that's
we
right.
got to come back.
All right, Brown to kick it off. East Brunswick looking to get some field position, and have not had much success on run backs. Another high kick, short kick by Brown. White will field it at about the 15-yard line. Looking for a block, and he's tripped up at around the 17.
And wasn't that nice kickoff coverage?
And I tell you, it wasn't the most aggressive play that you've seen the Jesse James gang ever do on a punt return.
Really? I think East Brunswick had the sense that they were going to come out and just run up the field on Cherokee, and the reverse has been the case. And they may be a little stunned right now.
All right, East Brunswick has it on their own 17. Let's see what they can do. They need to get back in this game mentally, I believe. And one play can do it. They do have that potential. Forte gives it to DeVito. Joey gets up close to the 20, pick up 3 yards. We'll call it 2nd and 7 for the Bears. I formation. Giroux and Feldman wide to the left. Potter split out to the right. He's yet to have a ball thrown his way. That's Goldstein. Goldstein up to the 25. Bring up a 3rd and about 3 for the Bears for that first down.
I'll tell you what I do expect. I expect Brian to do more running this year. I just think he feels a lot more comfortable, not because he has to, but the corners will be open at times, and I think he's just going to take off.
This might be one of those situations, too, Phil. This is a very important first down.
3rd down, 3 yards to go. East Brunswick on their own 25. Forte keeps it, looks, still looking, being pressured. Gets away from one tackler and is going to be sacked at about the 15-yard line. Good coverage downfield by Cherokee.
Really? Anthony Tartatanosa.
Phil, I got to ask you, 3rd and 3, why are you looking deep downfield?
Maybe surprise.
Well, I think Forte had some ideas about running there, but I think Cherokee just was on top of the situation.
I think the pressure, John. I think the pressure was on him. They probably were going to go a lot shorter, but.
Forte will do the punting. Gets off a good kick. This will be Reed at his own 45. Up the sidelines and out of bounds.
Ooh.
Good hit there by an East Brunswick player. Number 69 for the Bears.
Scott Brunat.
Put a little leather on him.
Brunati.
But
Well.
but Cherokee is back in East Brunswick territory.
45-yard line. Very important for East Brunswick to put up a wall now. Cannot afford to get behind by too many points.
Let me ask you, is this deja vu from last year?
We shall see.
France brings them out. They're on top, 21-14. An excellent field position, 1st and 10. And it's Robinson. And Robinson wiggles for close to 3 yards.
Okay, Sean Smith being the first one to get a piece of him, but Robinson pushes forward for a couple extra yards.
5:15 to go in the 3rd period. East Brunswick has only had the ball for 1 offensive series. Two receivers out left now for Cherokee. 2nd and about 6. Here's that counter to Robinson. And he may have picked up the 1st down.
Nice call. Nice call.
And the Cherokee fans looking for a flag as Trent gave him a little push out of bounds. But it's another 1st down for Cherokee.
And the Bears haven't solved that riddle yet. Robinson is hitting those corners and picking up as much as he likes.
I'm sure with that 80-yard run to start the game, Robinson has over 100 yards rushing.
And as I said before, I'm just surprised the coach Horner doesn't stay with what we seem to be given, what's working. You know, why put the ball up?
1st and 10 for the Chiefs on the East Brunswick 33. They lead by 7. The pitch, Robinson breaks it back, has a hole, and he's got the 1st down.
More excellent running on Phil Robinson's part. And East Brunswick looks confused.
And you have a tackle by Bob Zimmerman, a lineman, downfield.
So Cherokee not wasting any time with the ball. They know what they want to do.
And they're doing it.
It's Robinson left, Robinson right. And it's working. Ball on the East Brunswick 22 now, 1st and 10. Inside to Reed, and Reed picks up 3 yards.
That offensive line for Cherokee has opened up nice holes. They're not very big, but they're very aggressive and just doing an outstanding blocking job on that front line there.
2nd and 6. This is where France becomes dangerous, Phil.
He can do any number of things, you're right.
Ball on the East Brunswick 18. They stay in that I formation. It's worked well for him. East Brunswick's jumped again. And penalties, that was hacked that time.
Right, that's the 2nd time he jumped offside. Encroachment penalty the 1st time around.
Well, it's the type of penalties that really hurt you. It's going to give him a 1st down.
They may just be short of it.
It's short, you're right.
Offside East Brunswick, 2nd and about 1 now. More importantly, the ball is moved inside the 15-yard line down to the East Brunswick 12. East Brunswick's got to make something happen here, Phil. France, handoff to Robinson. Robinson inside the 10.
It's 1st down.
More importantly, you're right, Jim, 1st down. So they pick up their 3rd consecutive 1st down on this drive.
And a sense of concern, to say the least, sort of enveloping this entire field.
We're down to 3 minutes to go here in the 3rd period. East Brunswick has only touched the ball once. 21-14 is our score. Counter with Robinson around to the left. He's turned the corner. He's in for the score.
There's the flag, too. Face mask. And that will be I'm not sure. Is that assessed on the kickoff?
Right.
I believe so. So Robinson turns the corner out from 12 yards. That's his third touchdown of the game.
And it's pretty much the same. We pointed it out. He's been able to run them corners at will, and we haven't been able to do much about it.
Right, and until they do, East Brunswick has put itself in a major hole. Two quick scores.
And the inexperience of the defense is showing.
All right, Brown on for the extra point to make it 28-14 and go up by 2 full touchdowns. High snap, placed down nicely, and it's wide right. So East Brunswick catches somewhat of a break here. With 2:40 to go, third period, the Chiefs on top 27-14.
And the players are walking off the field very slowly. You can see it in their faces. But with East Brunswick's quick strike offense,
they certainly
there's
have
no reason to feel that they are entirely out of this game.
That's for sure, Jim. They certainly have the ability to come back, but they need some sustenance. They need something to pump them up. They need to.
Hey, yeah, you don't even have to describe the words.
Yeah.
They need to.
Uh-oh, there's a major little rift going on here. Coach John Emery won the 50-50 that is conducted by the Athletic Association. And there's some cries of fix in the air.
I'm sure John would trade it in for an East Brunswick win, though, knowing him.
You're right. Well, let's see if East Brunswick gets something going here. They're going to have the ball as Brown gets prepared to kick it off.
Should be able to put it in the end zone.
And we're still waiting for Ramon Trent to get his hands on the pigskin and do something with it. And he's the only one back there. Somewhat of an odd formation. But with the penalty, that ball go in the end zone, and East Brunswick will start off on their own 20.
Okay, John, a very important series to down. East Brunswick has to show some life. They have to show some ability to move the ball on Cherokee, and I think they have to do it this series here. Of course, we have a whole quarter to go, but I think it's very crucial right now.
We talked about last year, Phil. This is almost a carbon copy. Exactly what happened. Cherokee surged in the third quarter, and now it's up to East Brunswick to get the points back.
Okay, the Bears have it with 2:40 to go in the third. On their own 20, 1st and 10. Forte, short drop, looks over the middle for Potter, and he's got him. The first time this afternoon, and Potter will pick up 9 yards.
And, John, I think with the doubling up of the outside wide receivers and whatnot, we're going to have to see more of Mr. Potter with his how tall is he?
6'3", 6'4".
6'3", 220-pound frame, slanting in and picking up some of that yardage underneath.
Right, and that'll open up things on the outside.
Exactly.
Official timeout. And the clock will now start up. 2nd and a short one as Feldman and Giroux come out to the right. I think I can see Forte keep this one. Nope. Hands off to DeVito.
Ooh.
Joey up the middle's got some room. First down and much more as he fights his way close to midfield.
All right.
I know what the ooh is for. Yards gain and also the way he was carrying the ball.
Right. So he has a tendency to carry that ball out there, and we would hope before the year's out he learns to tuck that ball under, but it's part of his running style. It will cost him sooner or later.
Down to 1:50 to go, third period. First down for the Bears.
That was a little bit of a spark that East Brunswick needed.
Ball on their own 49. Brian looking.
He's got
Steps
room.
up. He's going to run with it.
Ooh.
Crosses midfield, gets to the Cherokee 44. Picks up 7 yards.
There's the run you alluded to, Phil.
Okay, and that's a great pursuit by Cherokee defense, however.
I'm sure we're going to see more of that. I think Forte is going to have to put some things into his own, simply just to mix up the offense and give Cherokee some other things to think about.
Right, he's got great ability. He should use it all.
Well, in effect, they've taken Trent away from the offense through the double teaming, and we'll see. Second down for the Bears. Forte straight back, off the back foot, looking for Feldman, incomplete. So it'll bring up a 3rd and about 4 for East Brunswick.
I'll tell you what, if I'm Cherokee, I like the fact that the Bears are rotating Trent in and out. Granted, he's playing both offense and defense, but I'd have to think you have him in there for the scare factor, if nothing else. But I'd breathe a sigh of relief every time he goes out. I mean,
it's like Cherokee bringing in Phil Robinson every other time.
3rd and 4, East Brunswick looking to pick up that first down. Reverse. Trent's got it. Can he get to the outside?
He does.
He does. Ramon Trent picks up the first down.
And John, exactly what I'm talking about. When you have someone with the ability that Trent does, he has to touch the balls a number of times. He doesn't have to go long. You can, if he's double teamed, you can turn him in on the short one and hope that he can break something. We know he has that ability, but he has to touch the ball.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Cherokee was prepared for that. It's just that Trent got around him.
All right, the ball's at the Cherokee 34-yard line, 1st and 10. East Brunswick looking to get back into this ball game. They trail by 2 touchdowns. Forte, short drop, looks to the outside and throws it a little short of Joe Giroux. That's when you want to see that ball fired out there.
Right.
2nd and 10, down to 40 seconds here in the 3rd period. East Brunswick would like to score before the end of this period. Forte drops.
There's a rush.
Has some time. Steps up.
Here's the
being
rush.
pressured. Gets outside. He's going to keep it and goes out of bounds. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Good coverage.
I'll tell you, and tremendous pressure by Cherokee. They're doing it all. Excellent coverage.
Well, you know, Phil, that they're going to be watching Trent each and every time. And Ramon comes out of the game.
3rd down and 10 now for the Bears.
Okay, we're going to look for Mr. Potter here.
Ball on the Cherokee 34. DeVito on the handoff.
He's got room.
Breaks up the left side.
And it is a first down.
And he rolls in, and I think they're going to give it to him.
Got to.
Some hard-nosed running by Joey DeVito.
Well, they'll measure, but it looks like he's got it. In either case, they'll go for the first down.
And I called for Mr. Potter. He did an excellent job blocking on that side, sealing it off.
They'll bring out the chains. This is 2-down territory anyway. He's going to go no matter what.
A little bit of a drizzle. Any thoughts on whether that can affect the passing game?
East Brunswick's short by about a nose of a football.
No, Jimmy, it's really not wet
Okay.
enough to have any real effect.
Well, here's a call. You have Dave Clark, about 6'3", 250 on the center, one of the better handling quarterbacks in the state. With the ball, do you think you call a quarterback sneak on this?
Well, we can't call Matt Miller up the middle anymore. So
Yeah.
here we go, 4th down, and let's call it 6 inches. Big play for East Brunswick. And they pitch it to Casanelli. First down, East Brunswick, and a little bit more. Pat Casanelli seeing his first action with the ball. With 5 seconds to go in the period, picks up a big first down for East Brunswick.
The clock will start, so that could be the last play of the quarter. Well, I held my breath on that, I'll tell you what.
Nice run by the young man.
And that's it. That'll be the end of the 3rd period here at East Brunswick High School. The Bears trailing 27-14, but they're on the Cherokee 18-yard line.
So, Cherokee registering 13 points in that period. And for a while, it looked very bleak. East Brunswick now has given itself a little bit of life by a sustained drive here that's going to move into the fourth period.
Well, John, they appear to be doing just what I said they have to do. This is the drive that they really want to do something. If they continue like they're doing, they're going to score, no doubt about it. They look to have some confidence now, and there's no reason why they shouldn't take it in.
I think the interesting thing is, too, Phil, that this drive has been accomplished primarily on the ground.
Yep.
And that's not East Brunswick's way, as most people
would,
I
think what has happened is the Bears have decided to take what Cherokee is giving them.
Exactly.
And they're giving them underneath and short runs that they're able to pick up some yards, and the Bears are taking it rather than trying to pump it out there.
All right, we're about ready to get into the last 12 minutes of this game. And what a game it's been, a typical East Brunswick-Cherokee game. And East Brunswick needs to score here. They trail 27-14. They have the ball on the Cherokee 18-yard line.
Rain's starting to become a little bit more steadier now. Still not a major factor.
And one thing we might want to keep an eye on, that is conditioning. Seeing if the fourth quarter, in fact, does belong to the Bears.
Good point, John.
Here we go. Feldman and Drew wide right. Forte fakes, rolls right. He's got some time, looking for someone. Firing it in the corner.
Ooh.
Drop.
Great play. Ball was for Drew. Knocked out of his hands. Excellent defensive play by number 24, Rich Leniat.
Right on it.
Bring up 2nd and 10.
I can't say enough about this Cherokee defense, especially the secondary. They have really done the job thus far.
Trent now will go wide right. Drew in the slot. Ball on the Cherokee 18. Forte again will roll to his right. Looking. Finally throws it.
Ooh.
Potter just in and out of his hands.
Well, I'll tell you won't see that happen too often. It might have been the fact that he was so very wide open.
But I think in all fairness to Dave Potter, the ball was a little bit away from him. He was moving to the sideline, and the ball was coming back toward the middle of the field.
That may be in slight moisture on the ball, but nevertheless, it's
Catchable.
It's a catchable ball, really.
And we're back to another big third down, 3rd and 10. Rain starting to pick up just a bit. Drew and Feldman wide right. And once again, Forte will roll right. Looking, directing, trying to stay on his feet. He does. Puts it in the corner. Tipped.
Yes!
Caught by Rulo. Touchdown, East Brunswick.
And that's what all those ball drills are for.
The tip drills, you're
The tip
right.
play.
That's exactly the way the tip drills work.
Tipped by Potter, but picked up by Rulo, number 40. That's Greg Rulo.
And I tell you, give the officials a break here. Another place the official might have called Forte down. He went down very close to the ground with the ball. Someplace else or another group of officials might have called it down. They didn't. And he got the pass off, and you saw it.
27-20 now. Levine for the 21st point for the Bears.
Important point, too.
Snap high, flag is thrown. The kick is good, and we'll see what the call is. Procedure against East Brunswick is what we see some of the players calling, and that is the official call. That'll move East Brunswick back. Should not be a problem for Dan Levine.
Not at all.
Rain starting to pick up now as some of the fans are scurrying for cover. So East Brunswick will be moved back now to about the 7-yard line for this extra point. High snap, Troy White, it's a fake. Troy White's got some room,
Oh, great play by 61.
but he'll not make it, and the score will stay 27-20.
And no one even over on that side to pass it to.
Is that a call play, Phil, or is that,
No, that
Troy
was-
White's call?
It's Troy White has to make the decision if the
Right.
snap is bad.
There really wasn't any need to run the ball. They could have.
But usually you have somebody peeling off when that occurs in that area, so that if he wishes to have the option of throwing the ball, he can. No one was there.
So now we arrive at a situation where East Brunswick defense has to come to the front now, something they haven't been able to do in the second half. Cherokee scored on its first possession off a turnover on a fumble, and then secondly off a punt. They marched right down the field, and the East Brunswick defense needs to be the ones in the spotlight this time.
11:30 to go in the game. East Brunswick trailing by 7, 27-20. And you're right, Jim, it all falls on the East Brunswick defense right now. Levine to kick it off. Good kick. Another one into the end zone.
It's the best thing he could have done.
And
Just
Dan
continue
Levine
to do
has
that.
done his job today.
He's done a super job.
Do we hear the cry defense? Defense? That's what we need.
So Cherokee will start off on their own 20, 1st and 10. From that eye, there's the pitch to Robinson.
Ooh.
He looked trapped, but yet he picks up 5 yards.
Wormed his way for 5.
You got to shut down Robinson.
Well,
Right, and at the same time, be prepared for the pass, which Franz can do.
2nd and 5 for Cherokee. 11 minutes left in this game. Cherokee on top, 27-20.
And now you hear the cry of defense.
Robinson right up the
Ooh,
middle, hit
all right.
hard. Woo! That's the first time they
Okay.
really
I was going
stopped
to
him.
say, that's about the first time that Robinson has been stopped for at least no gain.
Well, I'll tell you, the cheerleaders are doing their job yelling defense, but the crowd is to follow. That's all.
3rd down and 5 now. East Brunswick needs to shut him down here. Wishbone type of formation. There's Reed on that little reverse. Trent
Big
shuts him
play.
down in a flag.
And what do you do here? I guess you go for take the ball. Looks like a clipping call is going to be called.
It is against Cherokee.
And your big athlete, Ramon Trent, was the one that made
I
that
tell
play.
you, Ramon Trent came up very nicely. He didn't have the nicest form in the world, but he was right there and did the job.
Boy, this is a tough call right here. This is a tough call. Marcus Borden waving his hands to refuse it.
Now, if you're Coach Horner, what do you do?
Oh, wait a minute.
Clip against Cherokee declined. Brings up 4th down. 4th and 3, and Cherokee looks like they're going to punt.
That was a tough call, I'll have to say. 15 yards in this territory is a lot of yards to make up.
Well,
But they want the ball back.
They want the ball back, and they have him pretty nicely.
All right, Trent and White back, and their first responsibility is to catch that ball. Brown will do the punting. Good snap. Short kick. East Brunswick should move away from it. And that's what Trent will do. They'll still have excellent field position. The ball is blown dead at the East Brunswick 42-yard line.
Lots of time.
9:32 to go in the game.
That was a nice defensive stance by East Brunswick that time. They did what they had to do.
They really asserted themselves.
Right.
And
Trent making the big play. And here comes the rain.
Yes.
Not too many people are concerned about that, John.
Here we go, 1st and 10, East Brunswick. Forte, short drop, looks over the middle for Potter, deep, and it's intercepted. Turnover by East Brunswick.
Could be a big one.
Wayne Shelton comes up with the interception for Cherokee.
That ball slightly overthrown by Brian Forte.
A rarely overthrown ball by Brian Forte. You know, I mean, you see Brian overthrow balls when he's doing patterns and when they're going very deep. But over the middle, he's usually right on the money there.
All right, and that puts the pressure back on the defense to stop Cherokee.
All right. 1st and 10 for the Chiefs. Ball on their own 36. Robinson. And Robinson will pick up 5 yards. Second and 5. Ball at the Cherokee 41. Robinson again. Close to that first down.
Oh,
I think he's got it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the clock continues to move.
I'll be surprised if Cherokee puts it in the air, quite honestly. Unless forced to.
You're right, John. They're having just such good success running the ball.
Clock is running down to 8 minutes and 10 seconds. East Brunswick needs to get that ball back. Reed this time, stuffed right at the line of scrimmage. And we should point out, East Brunswick has never beaten Cherokee.
I'll tell you, Sean Smith on the tackle there, and Sean Smith, one of the men on the defensive line that seems to be playing a credible game. He's needs a little help.
Rain is starting to come down heavy now, and that causes a problem for us here in the booth. We are not under any sort of protection as Robinson crosses midfield. We'll see if we can keep broadcasting. Bring up a 3rd down. This is a big down for East Brunswick's defense. 3rd and 6.
It's a very big down, John. They need to stop them, preferably a turnover, but they definitely have to stop them right here.
Okay, let's see what the call is.
It's Robinson. What else?
All right.
And they do shut him down.
All right. Mark Harmon coming up from his safety position to make the tackle there.
Cherokee players wanting to go for it. They do have the ball in East Brunswick territory. And we see the punter out, John.
And it's really coming down now.
It sure is. So Rick Brown is going to be punting. East Brunswick at least will have an opportunity to get the ball back.
Trent, sole man back.
Whoop.
It's a fake. That's Riley.
And they held him.
And they stop him. East Brunswick gets the ball at their own 45.
Big play.
It is big in a sense of momentum and also field position.
But I tell you, I can see Jim Hornis thinking if they make that first down, it is the backbreaker.
It's over. You're right.
So East Brunswick breathes new life. 55 yards to go, but lots of time. 5:54, John.
1st and 10, East Brunswick on their own 45. They trail by 7. And this is deja vu, let me tell you. Forte, short drop, being pressured. Throws for Trent, in and out of his hands.
Brian slipped on that play. Apparently the field is getting too slippery to get any sort of footing.
And a little high.
If this rain keeps up, we're going to have to end this broadcast after East Brunswick's possession. Hopefully it'll end with a score.
If they score, we're not going nowhere.
2nd and 10. Forte looking, rolling. He's got Feldman. Feldman makes the catch, holds on to it.
Close to a first.
He may have the first down.
Very close.
And I'm wondering if the clock stops on, well, they'll stop it to check to see if it's.
And the rain is coming down. All right, unfortunately, we have to end this broadcast as the rain has forced us due to the equipment.
And as the crowd finally gets
And
into
the crowd
gets
finally
into the
gets
game.
in. So for Phil Hill and Jim Allinder, I'm John Meggiolaro saying thanks for being with us as Forte goes on a quarterback sneak to get the first down.